men from Amherst, Massachusetts. Bob Carpenter, Larry Conley, we had these two leagues getting together Friday night, and Temple took care of Memphis. Different kind of game tonight, Larry, and one club feeling its way, the other looking to get back to that big dance.
Yeah, Bob, right now I think this Marquette club needs a win at home. They cannot afford to lose another one because of that schedule that they've got. And for the Massachusetts Minutemen, obviously a full complement of players tonight. They've got Monty Mack back in the lineup and anxious to see how he's going to play.
Monty Mack back from a shoplifting rap. He had to sit out, but he's in there tonight. And for Bruiser Flint, it couldn't have come quickly enough. Not only Monty Mack shooting it, but Shannon Crooks, a point guard. And Larry, we've got a couple of really good players running the points tonight.
Indeed we do. Shannon Crooks played point guard the other night, but he scored, or two guard, played two guard and got 20 points the other night. He'll move back to his regular position as the point guard tonight as Mack goes to the shooting guard.
And, of course, for Tom Crean, Kordell Henry, only 5'10", 160, Whitney Young High School, Chicago. This guy can motor.
Yeah, and he's the one guy that they really depend on to shoot some from the outside besides Wardle. Only 31% the other night in that loss against South Alabama. They need his shooting as well as Wardle's.
Jim Burr throws the ball up, and the Minutemen in their road maroon will have it. And it'll be Shannon Crooks running the point. They run sets, and they try to work Monty Mack off screens all night long.
Marquette opens up in a man-to-man defense. Tom Crean told us at breakfast this morning, guys, I'm going to mix it up on my defenses, but we'll open man-to-man.
His man-to-man principles come from his buddy Tom Izzo over in East Lansing. So they'll do some zoning tonight. Oh, Crooks, look how quick he is on the baseline, but it got away from him. Wardle up with it, and Kordell Henry for Marquette of Conference USA.
And Mass opens up in a man-to-man defense, too, so both clubs going mano-a-mano.
Green wants to play more up-tempo this year. He says, we're not very good at it yet. For the last couple of years, back to the days of Mike Dean, it's been a very deliberate, low-scoring sort of offense. There's a good backdoor look. Miller blocked, getting it back. Namaka. Then a kick to Henry. Shot clock got refired, and Kordell misses everything.
Not a good start for either club, and big roadblock at the midcourt line. Both guys went down.
Crooks stopping his dribble. Aluma Namaka went down after he fell right over the top of Kitwana Reimer. They call him Kit, and so will we. Tom Crean, second year.
I'll call him anything he wants me to call him. As big as he is, you can see Reimer going down, Namaka right over the top of him.
Aluma and Kitwana going down in Milwaukee, of all places. We've got some jostling away from the ball. Miller, and on his back, Kit Reimer. That'll be his first. Tom Crean, 4 years an assistant with Tom Izzo over at Michigan State, 15 and 14 last year. And Bruiser Flint, 5th year at UMass. And there have been whispers that some influential people sort of interceded on his behalf to keep the administration from dismissing him after last year's 17 and 16.
Interesting conversation with him today at the shoot-around. He was talking about the way the officials have been calling the season so far. Very concerned about the way they're playing, and already we've got another foul on the inside. 2 fouls called, both of them off the ball.
Well, it looks like Numaka got that one. Aluma Namaka, pardon me. So the two guys who tumbled down a moment ago got their fouls just about close together. And a minute and a half in, well, we have yet to score here in Milwaukee.
Bob, in the early part of this season, I'm really seeing a lot of that being called, too. The referees have really cracked down on the rough play.
Point of emphasis this year. From the right side, a 3, and it goes down for guess who? Monty Mack.
I'm going to tell you what, I'd love to watch that guy shoot. I was watching him the shoot around today. He has got the picture-perfect jump shot. Great quick release.
And Tom Crean says if you're going to guard him, you better have your hands up before he gets the ball, because he releases too quickly for you to get in his face.
I think what we'll see tonight is the full Monty.
You've been waiting for that, haven't you? Yeah, I guess the Conley comeback is complete now with that one. Here's Wardle spinning, hanging, and scoring.
Very nice. Both of the shooting guards we talked about at the top of the show and the way they can get to the basket. Wardle with a nice move to the inside, and already he and Mack have put up the points.
3 2-minute men on the exchange. Winston Smith on the left wing. 5th year senior. There's Mack with the swing to Crooks, and we've got a foul away from the ball where Jackie Rogers was jockeying with Namaka.
Bob, let's take a look at the back attack right here. Nice screen down on the inside, and an excellent one that time by Jackie Rogers, the freshman. To watch it, quick release, not even putting it on the floor, just catch it and go up with it.
Namaka
gorgeous.
Has to leave the game. He gets 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes and 28 seconds. And Odarte Blankson trying to work down there on the right wing. They've brought in John Harris, who normally is a starter. Blankson got the call instead of him tonight, but quickly Harris in there.
Told you Marquette was going to mix up their defenses. They've gone to a zone defense now, a 2-3.
And 2-3 look with Wardle on the left wing. Crooks looking to penetrate. Shot clock at 9. Monty Mack against Wardle, the two great shooters. Look at that quick first step. Then he hangs. Miller came up to adjust the shot. Kordell Henry will run with it. He is the key to their transition game.
Massachusetts doing a nice job of getting back on defense that time, not allowing Marquette any easy baskets.
Looks like a foul away from the ball on Jackie Rogers, a junior who's been on the Marco Polo tour for the last 5 years.
He's attended everything but the Electoral College.
Whistle away from the ball. Middle of your screen, number 2, Jackie Rogers, hand checking, and we have seen it both offensively and defensively. Trying to clean things up down low during the exempt games before these regular games got started. We saw the trapezoid lane, which helped clear things out a little bit more. And there's talk that that may be the standard in college basketball in the next year or two. Wardle can't get the shot. Monty Mack just picked him clean.
Boy, what a great steal that was. Quick hands.
Winston Smith will swing it. Crooks will square up. He spins in the 3. Shannon Crooks, a junior who was a freshman at St. John's a couple of years ago, had a 12-point per game season last year.
Now Massachusetts goes back. They're still in their man-to-man defense. I like this Crooks kid. He can really play. Had 20 the other night. Shot the ball very well in their opening win.
Wardle looking to spin again. Leans in for some contact. It won't roll in for him. And Kit Reimer clears it off for UMass. Monty Mack, how about that for a quick release? He got back iron with it. Kordell Henry, 2-on-2.
They've got
now
numbers.
3-on-2 with a trailer, but Kordell will wait. Gets a high pick from Scott Merritt.
Had a chance there. They had a 3-on-2 break, and Henry decided not to take advantage of it.
Harris with the swing for Henry. UMass a good job of defending so far. They play 90% man-to-man. Contain and contest is their modus. And there's a foul on the shot.
I think Reimer's going to pick it up with a push down underneath. I think it's going to be a common foul. Won't be a shooting foul.
So 2 on Reimer. 4 minutes, 32 seconds in. Slow start offensively, but UMass has a couple of threes. And the Minutemen here in Milwaukee leading 6-2. I sent a note home like that, Larry, from college one time, and I got one back that said, "So sad, too bad, you're dead." Using television to try to get some funds into the dorm. Students are having fun here in Milwaukee tonight. Bob Carpenter, Larry Conley. We've got UMass and Marquette.
Nice to see they've got their shirts off indoors. I was watching a football game this weekend where it was really cold somewhere, and those guys had their shirts off, and it was cold outside.
Monty Mack 1 for 3 so far. Brian Wardle 1 out of 2 as we track the shooters in this one.
Both of these clubs are very guard-oriented.
Micah Brand has checked in. They didn't get the timeout. That's a 5-second call. Odarte Blankson trying to get the timeout, didn't do it in time.
Well, Tom Crean, the shoot-around today, while I was visiting with him, he was watching his freshman work up and down the floor, and Blankson was one of those guys who was struggling, trying to find out where he was on the floor.
Point guard Jonathan DePina running it now for UMass. The backup to Crooks. They're both in there. Crooks goes right at the Eagles.
Henry's going to pick up that foul. He got him across the arm as he was going up for the shot. Take a look again. Watch this. DePina with a nice pass. Good look across and an easy try at the basket by Crooks, and Henry got him right on the arm as he went up.
Kind of a grinder here so far at the Bradley Center. Shannon Crooks.
Bob, in visiting with Bruiser Flint today, we talked a lot about his club from last year. He was concerned because he had Micah Brand and Kitwana Reimer, and both of those kids were the only 2 big kids he had last year. This year, it's a little bit different story with Jackie Rogers and also Eric Williams, 2 guys he's picked up that's really helped him, 2 transfers, and both of these guys now give him some depth in the front court and a little bit more options.
We mentioned Rogers a couple of years ago at West Virginia. UMass is really dominating off Marquette turnovers, all 7 of their points. And of course Eric Williams, we haven't seen him yet. He used to play for Jim Boeheim in Syracuse. 5 minutes in, Marquette not really figuring things out offensively yet. They're going to double on Wardle everywhere he goes. He's going to have to get used to that. Kordell Henry creating his own shot. Kept alive on the tip by Merritt, the freshman. Wardle shot blocked. Harris gets a second chance. And now Merritt. They got another 35 on the shot clock, so there's no need to hurry here.
Good effort by the Golden Eagles that time to go up on that offensive glass and be able to get a couple of more chances.
Henry for Wardle. Closing on him, Winston Smith.
Well, Massachusetts doing a good job of tracking the ball.
Wardle and Smith one-on-one. Going left. Off the pick. There's the roll by Merritt. Shot clock at 8. Waiting, turning. Another block in there. And right now, UMass with Micah Brand that time is dominating things in the middle.
I'll tell you the thing that's most impressive about this Minutemen defense right now is the fact that they're just not allowing any open shots at all. Look at the turn and go back to the other side. Scott Merritt trying to get open. Brand was right there to knock it away, and then Wardle commits the foul down underneath.
Micah Brand just 15 blocks as a sophomore or as a freshman last year. Did not start. They'll be counting on him for some of that defense.
He played very well at the end of the year last year for Massachusetts.
Like I say, needs to get a little stronger. There he is on the block. Kicks it back out. Smith, DePina thought about the three. They'll pull it back out with plenty of time on the shot clock. And Harris was riding the hip of Micah Brand.
Massachusetts very aggressive on defense. On offense, right now they're being patient. Trying to work the ball to get it down on the inside to Micah Brand. You can see the foul committed by Harris right there on the right side.
Monty Mack back in for UMass, along with Willie Jenkins, who checks in for the first time. Winston Smith sits down, as does Shannon Crooks. They got a pretty versatile guard combo. As Larry mentioned, they did some switching the other night. And in 40 minutes at the point, Jonathan DePina did a fine job. There's a travel by Willie Jenkins. Shannon Crooks played the 2 guard with Monty Mack out in that win over Iona for Bruiser, and he got 39 minutes in with 7 of 15 shooting.
Bruiser getting a lot of players in early in this game. Oh, look at DePina.
There's Wardle. That's a shot he's got to hit when he's open. And then Harris caught flat-footed, fumbles the ball over the baseline. College basketball, the TiVo preseason NIT, we're down to the semifinals. Hey, not a bad Final Four, huh? Hoosiers and the Temple Owls at 7 o'clock in the first semifinal Wednesday night. And then Texas, Big 12, #1 Duke at 9:30 from the Garden.
You know what's intriguing? And matchup with Indiana against Temple. How about Mike Davis in his first year at Indiana taking on the wily owl, John Chaney.
John Chaney. Foul down low. Looks like it's on Scott Merritt.
Hope John finds some barbecue in New York.
He found it in Memphis. Tom Crean's club just really out of sync. 2 points in the first 7 minutes. By the way, how about Duke? They win a couple of games. Arizona starts the season #1 in our poll. And without playing, they lose the #1 spot to Duke, who could go 3-0 on Wednesday. And the Marquette shooting has really been bad. They were 17 of 54 for 32% in that 67-54 NIT loss to South Alabama. I'll tell you, Bob Weltnick's got some athletes down there. That's a club that people don't know a whole lot about, but they're real solid in that Sun Belt Conference.
And I'll tell you what, Bob, he went up to Bloomington, Indiana, and played them toe-to-toe right up to the last 2 minutes of the game. So give Bob Weltnick some credit. Looks like he's going to have a pretty good club in that Sun Belt Conference this year.
Entry pass. Good front by John Harris to force the steal.
Not a good pass by Eric Williams. He tried to force it to the inside.
O'Darday Blankson on top for Henry. Wardle, bottom right of your screen. Always have to keep your eye on him like the Minutemen do. Somebody else in this club has to score. A Jim Burr whistle away from the ball. Wow.
Got a hand check.
Micah Brand with his first.
Already we've had several away from the ball fouls. And as I said earlier in this game, the officials are really cracking down on that in the month of November here. Every game that I've seen on television, every game that you and I have done, this is our second one, I've seen more and more of this. I think these players are going to have to learn to adjust.
There's Micah Brand with his hands on the back of the offensive player. Seemed like sort of incidental contact. There's Brian Baroni now for Marquette, Tony's son. Tony, of course, is with Vancouver scouting in the NBA.
Director of player personnel up there. Former coach at Creighton and Texas A&M.
Brian's a good gutsy player, running the point, backing up For Tom Crean, that shot won't go. Look at Merritt up there, puts it on the floor. Almost didn't get it back up, and now another foul.
Well, I got to give Marquette a lot of credit. They're struggling getting their shot off and getting it in, but they're doing a good job of going after the glass on the offensive end. Having scored 2 points only to this point, give him credit, particularly Merritt on the inside. He's gone to war in there.
He's got 3 offensive rebounds already.
Good-looking freshman, just needs a little bit of weight.
All-stater. Wauwatosa, Wisconsin last year. East High School, he really considered some big schools. Kentucky, Duke, Syracuse, Michigan on that list. Tom Crean told us getting him was my #1 recruiting priority from day one when he got this job.
Well, the one thing he wants to do, obviously, is to get him bulked up a little bit because he doesn't have a lot of weight on there. He's 6'10", weighs 235, and probably could carry 250.
43, Aluma Namaka with a couple of fouls checking back in. Sitting down, Odarte Blankson. They're at 17 points, 11 boards per game in the high school ranks last year.
We had a late arriving crowd tonight, didn't we?
Local time, 6 o'clock start. Folks stayed downtown who worked down here, had a couple of brats and came over for the ball game.
A couple of brats?
Well, maybe more than that. Jonathan DePina runs the point now for the Minutemen. Senior out of South Boston. Wardle tries to stay with him. Over to Ronell Blizzard. Bruisers had just about everybody in. He's used 10 players already. Ball loose. Namaka, can he stay with it? Yes.
Nice
for Merritt.
play.
Here's Baroni. They've got to get a basket. 1 field goal and 1 free throw. Wardle, good dish. Harris to finish, and a foul.
Well, what a job by Wardle to get inside that Massachusetts defense. Very quick down the lane once he received it. Put it on the floor with his left hand. Got it in there where Harris had an easy layup. Watch this maneuver. Nice cut. Back gets screened. Bad switch that time by DePina, and Wardle gets rid of it just in time for Harris.
Marquette had some droughts in their first game of the year against South Alabama. That field goal breaks a drought of 6 minutes and 10 seconds. A beautiful dish by Wardle. And John Harris, a junior out of Edwardsville, Illinois, down in the St. Louis area. He was an All-American there. We'll try to make it a 3-point play, and we got all kind of people dancing into the lane.
I think they've got a double violation here. I think everybody jumped in there.
Gonna go ahead and take the timeout here. That indicates to us that Marquette may be giving up possession. We'll wait and see. 7.5 minutes, now 8.5 minutes in. It took Marquette a while to get warmed up. Baroni, Wardle, dribble penetration, jump stop, the assist, and the basket.
I want you to notice right here what happens. We've got a double violation. You'll see the Massachusetts players jump into the lane, followed by the Marquette players. But the problem was that Harris didn't shoot the ball. But you've got a double violation. In that situation, you've got a jump ball. Alternate possession gives the ball back to Massachusetts. So without a free throw, they get the ball back.
So he should have gone ahead and shot it.
Absolutely. Except that now they get the ball back. So instead of getting 1, they've got a chance for 2.
Baroni will trigger it in on the baseline. A lot of teams go zone on the inbounds, but Mass goes man, and they got the turnover on the 5-second call a few minutes ago. There's the entry down to Harris. Rogers riding his hip. Baroni, Monty Mack defending, and we've got another one going back the other way. Looks like John Harris with his second. Wow. 16 fouls. I'll make it 7 now on Marquette.
Take a look. You'll see the foul down inside. Harris is trying to maneuver for that post position in there and pushed off with that left arm. I'll tell you what, they have really cracked down on that rough play in the post. Last year, that would have not been a foul.
Well, one of the lines I've heard is they're trying to take the game out of the weight room and put it back on the court. Rogers long with the free throw. Smith, he may have pushed off to get that rebound. He did. And for Winston Smith, his first.
Bob, and the thing about it is the National Association of Basketball Coaches is in full agreement with what these officials are doing. They've already said we want to clean it up, and they've told the officials, and the word has been transferred down from the conference offices all the way down to the officials.
Each team in the bonus for free throws, 11:21 remaining before halftime.
And we haven't even gotten, what, to double figures yet?
All three of those rebounds offensive for the freshman. Nice rotation. Second point of the night. Scott Merritt, very skilled offensively. They love his hands, the way he passes.
The only complaint that I heard from Tom Crean about this young man was he had to get a little bit better defensively, but what freshman doesn't?
Right. Bit of a sore lower back. He heard it in practice the other day. Doesn't bother his stroke. All three of his from the line. And a 7-7 score as we near the 9-minute mark. Elapsed. Now UMass in a 5-minute field goal drought.
And Marquette back into that 2-3 zone. Actually, you know what they're doing? They got a boxing chaser. Baroni's chasing Mack down underneath in the basket. You left part of your screen right there. The other four players are playing zone. Watch Baroni chase the baseline.
Entry pass squirts through. They look for a bounce pass in heavy traffic for Eric Williams. And you would have to call that a high-risk pass. Baroni running the point after doing a nice job on Monty Mack.
Crooks now out front picking up Baroni.
Namaka trying to pull his way in. That shot blocked. Wow, Williams way up there.
Tom Crean wanted goaltending, but Eric Williams up there got it before it started coming down.
Crooks well off with the three and skying for another rebound. His fourth is Merritt. And then they got in a little bit of a hurry, and Baroni just fumbled that ball out of bounds.
Tough break for Marquette at the time. Merritt had to try to get it to Baroni, and he couldn't come up with it. Watch it again. He loses, it goes down. Now he's trying to save it up to give it to Baroni, and he can't handle it, and it goes out of bounds.
Look at Brian Baroni diving. He was in high school at Consolidated in College Station when his dad was the coach at A&M. We've seen Tony dive on the floor a few times, too, over the years.
He did it less gracefully, though.
He was one of the most emotional coaches we ever saw in the college ranks. Entry pass. Williams. Tough little pass to the other side of the lane. Knocked out of bounds by the Eagles, and with 17 on the shot clock, UMass will have it.
Somebody needs to get something going here.
Merritt looks a little gassed, and they're looking at his leg over on the Marquette bench.
Nice pass.
Wow. The flush by Jackie Rogers.
How about the pass by Monty Mack? Good look from the out of bounds inside. A quick cut and a quick pass.
Miller back in there for Marquette at the high post. Wardle looking for the flashing Baroni. Namaka in traffic. Wardle now goes to the free throw line area. We'll see where he flashes. Monty Mack is all over him. Look at this matchup. Baseline. Can't get it to roll in. Ryan Wardle's going to have to work very hard for his points tonight. Crooks on the dribble, and he turned it over. And Tom Crean pleading with Jim Jenkins. Hey, my guy's getting killed at the other end. Speaking of Wardle, come on, he says.
Look at Baroni. He almost caught Massachusetts napping. In fact, he did.
Wardle overshot the layup. I think he was expecting some contact, and it never came.
Massachusetts never saw Baroni coming down the floor with the ball. They had their back to it.
We're still in single figures. A combined 5 for 24 of these two clubs. Ouch. Monty Mack looking to catch and shoot. Baroni knocks it away from him. The ball will not spend a whole lot of time in Monty Mack's hands. Odarte Blankson and Kordell Henry back from Marquette. Jonathan DePina, who backs up Shannon Crooks, will check in for UMass.
Marquette really struggled the other night against South Alabama. Only 31% field goal percentage and 28 from three-point land. Look at this move to the outside. Mack trying to get inside. Good slap away.
Shot clock at 5. DePina working off a high pick by Williams. Rattles out on it. Rebound, the man they call Dot, Odarte Blankson. UMass is really clogging up the middle. You look at that maroon out there, you wonder what it's going to be like when UMass plays Temple. It'll be a war inside.
Rogers and Harris having the WWF night in there.
Working for a shot, Kordell Henry, back iron. Rebound for the Minutemen, Jackie Rogers. Monty Mack had that early 3, and that's been it.
Bob, I think this is the equivalency of a shutout being pitched in baseball.
I'll tell you, the ERA is going down as we speak, every time down the floor. 9-7 UMass, 12 minutes into the game. I don't think I've ever seen a game single figures this long. There's Blankson with a little reach in on the dribble by Winston Smith. And for Odarte, no, it's going back the other way, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be an offensive foul. Watch Harris underneath. He's really going to battle with Rogers in there. They're both using those arms, trying to maneuver, trying to find space. You know, once you get yourself established in there as the offensive player, it's tough for that defensive guy to root you out of there unless he's got more weight than you've got.
Each team has 2 players with 2 fouls already. Kordell Henry will go to the line. Well, they like the way he came back stronger than ever for his junior year. Good decision maker. Kordell, when he's running down the court, is like a jet. It's going laterally. He's not as quick as some other point guards. Winston Smith looking for Monty Mack. There it is, the catch and the shoot. Nobody in America does it any better than the senior out of South Boston. He's got 5 on the night.
That's such a quick release. The ball just hits his hands and it's gone.
He's the number 2 active returning scorer in college basketball. There's a slap on the arm on the field goal attempt, and Monty Mack will get his first. Monty Mack right now has 1,622 points. Ronnie McCellum of Centenary has 1,737 as the number 1 active player right now in Division I.
I got to tell you, in the A-10 this year is going to be a great scoring battle going on between Monty Mack and Sir Valiant Brown down in GW. It'll be a great scoring match between these 2 guys.
Unbelievable. At the line, Aluma Namaka out of Uppsala, Sweden, his first point of the night. Back in, Terry Sanders, well, his first appearance now for the freshman out of Vincent High School right here in Milwaukee, where his club won 3 state titles.
Sprained his ankle on Friday. Maybe not be it. He is not 100% right now, but Tom Crane says he is by far the best athlete on the club.
Well, Virginia wanted him. They found out about him all the way over there, and we've got a timeout. 7:40 first half. You better be on Monty Mack. It is gone. It is in. UMass by 2. Marquette, a program with great tradition. Al McGuire, his 295 wins. National championship for Al way back in the 70s. 20 All-Americans have played here. Guys like Jim Jones, Bo Ellis, Butch Lee, Maurice Lucas, Doc Rivers, Dean the Dream Meminger. Great tradition here in Milwaukee, and we certainly pass along our best to Coach McGuire.
Absolutely.
Struggling these days,
absolutely,
but hanging in there.
One of the great guys you'll ever meet. He's terrific. I sat there in Atlanta in 1977 and watched him win the national championship.
Monty Mack for UMass over to Jonathan DePina. 11-9. Yeah, it's 7:25 left, folks, not 17:25. It's been a very low scoring first half. And there's Micah Brand moving his feet all over the place.
Yeah, he really was shut down by Miller. Miller had a good position on the inside, and he bounced his feet a couple of times trying to get position.
UMass 8th turnover. That's the thing that's kept them from pulling away from a club. Marquette shooting 2 for 19. That's got to be goaltending.
Yep, absolutely. Micah Brand with his hand up in the net.
And a basket for Odarte Blankson.
Nice cut on the baseline that time. Blankson got to the inside, and actually it was Eric Williams that was the guy who slapped it out of there.
A 2-0 run by Marquette ties the game. That's about how it's going right now. Another whistle.
Mack fouled by Kordell Henry that time. Mack got to the ball. Henry trying his best to keep up with him. One thing about Monty Mack is not only does he have that good quick release, which we've talked about already, we've heralded the way he shoots the ball, but he's very quick at getting open. I mean, he finds a way to use screens. He doesn't need a screen. He can get open on his own if he has to.
I asked Jeff Arnold, the associate coach for James Bruiser Flint today, to describe Monty Mack on offense. He said, we run 1,000 screens for him. There's Bruiser. St. Joe's alum is Bruiser, Philadelphia guy. And reports out of Amherst had during the offseason that people like John Calipari, Bill Cosby, who earned his master's and his doctorate at UMass after his days at Temple, and Julius Erving interceded on his behalf. Evidently somebody in the stands with one of those laser pointers. That's why the action was stopped.
That would be the straightest thing we've seen all night.
Monty Mack on that UMass career chart. Jim McCoy's their all-time leading scorer. Monty started number 5. And he's got 6 tonight. No, Dr. J is not on that list. He only played 52 games a couple of years. Marcus Camby didn't play a full career. He's not on the list either. Although Marcus did have 336 block shots.
Played on the 96 club that went to the Final Four.
What a club that was for John Calipari.
In fact, they won 5 A-10 championships in a row with Calipari at the helm.
Yeah, his last 5 years. On the dribble, Namaka. Entry pass, a tough one. Miller. Shot clock now down to 10. With 6.5 to go first half. Kordell Henry. Somebody's got to be open.
Somebody's got to shoot.
From Sanders. 4 on the shot clock. Down it goes from Kordell. His first basket. And for the first time, Marquette leads. They go up 13-12. Trying to answer too quickly, maybe. Eric Williams back iron at the other end. Here's Henry running with it.
DePina shut him down very quickly. Henry was trying to penetrate deep into that lane to find somebody who was open.
Henry sees DePina slip. He'll penetrate and hang. No shot there for Odarte Blankson.
Good switch that time by DePina.
Sanders on the floor. Shot clock at 10.
Boy, Marquette really milking this clock.
High pick by Miller. And they're going to say it was an illegal screen as he was moving. And sometimes, Larry, you can fault the dribbler for not dribbling close enough to the screen.
Watch Kordell Henry here. You know what? I think DePina just tripped over Miller's foot. I don't think it was a push off at all. I think he just tripped over Miller's foot.
Well, they got John Miller for the foul. Dan Shulman and Bill Raftery out in Maui for the Maui Invitational. Third game of the first round today. It'll be Louisville of Conference USA against the powerful ACC Terrapins of Maryland. And then later tonight, it'll be the Runnin' Rebels of UNLV. Billy Bano against Bill Self, 2 outstanding young coaches. And Self, the former Tulsa coach, has that club loaded in Champaign.
I know you're having withdrawal pains. I mean, 4 years of going to Maui, and you're sitting here with me in Milwaukee, but go up the longitudinal scales right there, and you'll be in Alaska this week enjoying yourself.
Heading for Alaska tomorrow night. My buddy Jimmy Dykes will be up there waiting for me. We'll call the Great Alaska Shootout, Syracuse, DePaul.
Great time. I've been up there a couple of times. You'll enjoy it. In fact, the folks up there are just terrific.
Ohio
Great
State, Florida State up there, Missouri, Rhode Island, Valpo, Alaska Anchorage, the wonderful host school.
Interested to see how Quinn Snyder's Missouri club is going to perform up there. They had a good recruiting class come in this year.
Wardle drills it. That's a 2. And Bryan with only his second field goal. He had 17 in the season opener in 37 minutes against South Alabama. Marquette now.
Golden Eagles back in that zone defense again.
Biggest lead, 3, air ball. On the back door, the rebound, John Harris. Here's Baroni. He'll switch it. Blankson, the pull-up. Back iron. Harris keeps it alive for Marquette. Blankson from the corner. Boy, nobody can get any kind of rhythm going.
Another offensive rebound for Merritt.
And the one-hander, his first collegiate field goal, comes off a rebound. Bruiser Flint has seen enough. He wants a timeout. The first called timeout by either coach. And it comes with 4:44 remaining before halftime. What a great night getting offensive rebounds for Scott Merritt. He's got at least 4. 6'10" freshman, highly recruited. 5 rebounds, points number 4 and 5. Marquette leads it by 5.
17-12, Marquette leading after a very cold first half. Take a look at some of the offensive rebounding that Marquette's got. Here's the shot by Blanks, and he misses. Good strong rebound on the inside that time. after they get it up, watch Merritt get it on the second miss by Blankson. Then he turns, looks at the basket, says, I can't get it back out, I'll shoot it. Scott Merritt having a good first half off the offensive boards.
He's a big freshman at 6'10". He has range up to 15 feet. And look at the offensive rebounds. He has 4 of those 11. Let's see what Bruiser Flint comes up with on a rather sloppy night in Milwaukee so far. A 1-out, 4-in look for the Minutemen. They're going to work Monty Mack off his screen, but Baroni's right there with him.
Fought over a double screen that time, a staggered double screen.
Crooks, trouble, gets it back.
Wardle almost came up with that basketball.
Shot clock inside 10. Running down to the 4:15 mark first half. Mack. Hey, everybody thought he was going to shoot, and Rhymes can't knock it down.
Foul's going to be on Reimer over the back. He had an easy one in there and just missed it. Frustration foul going after the ball on the miss.
Kit Reimer with his third. That'll force Bruiser Flint into a move. Micah Brand will get the call again.
Bob, I don't know how long it's been since Massachusetts has scored a basket. It has been some time.
4:10 left now.
We may get the results in Florida before Mass gets another basket.
It's only 3:40, but it seems a lot longer. I say only 3:40. Relative to some of the other droughts tonight, not that long. Scott Merritt at the line again. He's got a deliberate little routine there, but he's long with it. And Micah Brand will check back in. Kit Reimer will have to sit down. No points, 3 fouls.
Merritt very deliberate. He only has 10 seconds to get rid of the ball, or it's a violation.
And I would say he goes over that if they were counting. Blankson, another offensive rebound from Marquette. The ball missed by so much it really came out long. Clock under the 4-minute mark first half.
Well, Crooks really hawking Baroni.
Picked by Merritt. Backdoor Harris. Baroni found him.
Somehow or another, they just left him alone. They forgot about him because they were watching Baroni with the ball.
Brian Baroni's been a nice little spark for Marquette here. A senior who doesn't always play that much, but his experience invaluable right now. He's also working hard defensively on Monty Mack. Mack over him, barely nicking iron. Here comes Baroni. Down to Wardle. Takes on Mack. To the glass. Down it goes.
Pretty play. Great pass by Baroni. Looked up the floor about 40 feet. Found Wardle breaking to the basket. Nice play.
21-10 Marquette. It's now a 14-1 run. And yeah, this one is a run. DePina open. Blankson fell down, and there's Harris on the back of Crooks. And for John Harris, that'll be his third.
An unfortunate break that time for Harris because the ball kicked along and Crooks was right there to gather it in. Over the back was Harris. Well, Massachusetts really struggling from the field.
Well, it was Marquette 2 for their first 19. UMass nearly 5 minutes now without a field goal.
Bob, sometimes it just takes one guy to get a couple of baskets, and it'll ignite the rest of the players and get them going. Right now, Massachusetts has not found that individual to do that.
Crooks considered the best point guard at UMass since Edgar Padilla. Lumanamaka back in for Marquette.
Well, Padilla and Travieso were two good guards, weren't they?
They were a great 1-2 punch.
Whew. Quick, great on defense.
That's when John Calipari was still there. Crooks has 5 on the night. 3:04. It's been all Eagles for the last 6 or 7 minutes. A 14-2 run now, and they're doing some great job of getting the ball around. That was Baroni, the flush by John Harris. Well, we talked about the Marquette transition. UMass has some of its own. John Calipari, a good run, but if you go back before that, mid-60s to the late 70s, a gentleman by the name of Jack Lehman had a pretty good run. Third behind Bruiser and Calipari, and wins after his first 4 years. But they didn't play quite as many games back then. There's Jack working with Bob Beeler on the UMass Radio Network. Jack, of course, on the left. 217 wins, 8 Yankee Conference titles.
Tell you one thing, he's not missed any meals recently. Big Jack.
He is some character.
He's a great guy. Yeah, he really is.
Jack's a gym rat. That's what he is. You meet him, you know you've talked to a guy who's been around a lot of gyms. Yeah, the UMass Minutemen in the Yankee Conference back then. Final 3 minutes, first half. Bob Carpenter, Larry Conley, Bradley center, Milwaukee. A little ragged, but Marquette starting to tune up that offense a bit. Here's Wardle looking for a penetration. Can't roll it in. Kept alive by Brand. Namaka gets the putback. His first field goal for Marquette.
And another offensive rebound for the Golden Eagles. Boy, are they doing a job on that glass.
You know, it's amazing. Contain and contest. Boxing out. One of the principles of that 90% man-to-man UMass defense, and they're not doing any of that tonight.
Illegal screen by Massachusetts, and the Golden Eagles will go to the free throw line again.
Eric Williams with his second. Tonight, Marquette scores 7 points in the first 12 minutes, and then 14 in the next 5, and UMass looking a little befuddled here on the road.
Let me ask you something. You and I have done a lot of college basketball games through the years. Do you think that this refereeing, officiating the way it's going in November right now and perhaps into December will cause the players to begin to change the way they do things? Are we going to see a cleaner game, a less physical game?
Larry, I think it might be a combination of two, and that's a really good question. I think we'll see it cleaned up a bit. But I also think when you get into conference play, I don't think they're going to call it this closely. I don't see how they can.
I would agree with that.
And certainly not in March. But it's going to have an effect. It'll take a while.
Marquette already with 24 rebounds. Massachusetts with but 10.
Monty Mack being harassed. Baroni says, hey, I got all ball. Jim Burr says that's a foul. And for Bryant, his first. Gotta love watching a kid like that play.
Well, he really provides a spark for them. Watch him. He's really got him tuned in right now on Mack. Mack's trying to go up. Looks like they got all ball on that to me from that angle.
But I wonder if he got him for the little left hand check before the right hand got the ball. The way they're calling it, who knows? At the line, Monty Mack.
Well, they're having trouble just making free throws.
What Monty Mack did, for you folks who don't know, he got caught at a discount store stealing DVD discs. He pleaded no contest, paid a fine. It's pretty much a closed matter for now. And we just hope that around the 8-10, some of the visiting fans that will watch Monty Mack on the road don't get off on him too much, because players have been harassed about that sort of thing. Here's Merritt switching to the right hand.
Couldn't finish.
Williams a touch over the baseline. It'll go back the other way to UMass.
Three-guard lineup out there for Massachusetts right now.
Crooks the entry. Down it goes to Jackie Rogers. Looking for the turnaround. Short. Got his zone. Ball knocked away by Wardle. Crooks has it. Down to 1:45 first half.
Bruiser Flint feels more content right now going with this three-guard lineup with Mack, Crooks, and DePina.
DePina looking at a little trap out there. Just for a moment. Crooks. Boy, Marquette getting after him. Williams,
nice pass.
Good pass. Backdoor. And it rolls around for Jackie Rogers. His second field
Best
goal.
ball movement we've seen from the Minutemen in about the last 5 minutes. That was excellent passing, particularly by Eric Williams.
9 for 30 after the very slow start. Is Marquette. Namaka long with the three. Long rebound. And a foul underneath on the Eagles. Odarte Blankson his first. Our Super 8 Motel halftime report. Bill Pito and Digger Phelps in there. We've got a surprise for you from the Garden Isle. The UConn game against Dayton. Arizona beat Chaminade handily this morning. Louisville and Maryland play tonight over at the Maui Invitational. Wayne Duke, who puts that tournament together, the former Big Ten commissioner, has 7 clubs other than Chaminade who were in the NCAA tournament last year.
Well, I got to tell you, if it's a Dayton, Connecticut game, Oliver Purnell has got one of those clubs a lot of people have not heard about. They've got some great players on that club, led by the guy by the name of Tony Stanley and another one by the name of Brooks Hall. Two good players on that Dayton Flyer club. keep an eye on them.
Tom Crean knows all about it. They'll go over there and play on December 30th. The UD Arena is one of the toughest places to play as a visiting team. Here's Wardle, left-hander. Yeah, Brian Wardle. He's going to be exhausted when this night's over, and right now he's a little shaken up.
Hey, he came down badly on that foot. I think he may have turned that ankle.
His 9th and 10th points of the night, and the Bradley Center falls silent. He's up, but he's hobbled. Now he's not up. Trainer Ed Quick out there with the head coach Tom Crean.
Excuse me, Bob. I was going to say it was kind of an awkward landing that he had when he made that turn. He came right across the lane, and it looked like that left ankle gave on him as he started to turn and lay the ball up with the left hand. I would expect him to go out of the lineup right now with only 53.4 seconds left. No reason to risk injuring it any further.
Well, you're looking at the absolute key to the Marquette team walking off there.
Now watch him make this move. Now he comes around. Now watch the left ankle. Oh, you know what? I think he probably stepped on one of the players' foot.
Jackie Rogers.
Yeah.
He stepped on the foot of Jackie Rogers, and that turned his ankle.
Well, he's walking a little bit better now.
Yeah. UMass will bring it down the court. Final 53 seconds of a long first half. Ed Quick and his associate trainer Tara Kramer will work on him over there. John DePina handles the point for UMass for Money Mac. Crooks trying to keep control. Henry diving in there looking for a steal.
Well, good hustle outside. Blankson doing a nice job of keeping Shannon Crooks under wraps.
DePina probing. Not a whole lot in there. And a foul. It's Namaka on the back of Eric Williams, and for Aluma Namaka, who had 2 early fouls, that'll be his 3rd. It's going to be a war of attrition in the final 20 minutes.
Who's going to be left? If it's Tom Crean against Bruiser Flynn, I'll take Flynn. I think he's a little quicker.
Wow. UMass with nobody on the left side of that lane. Eric Williams bounces it in. His first point of the night. Didn't play last year after his transfer from Syracuse. That's Micah Brand back in. Jackie Rogers gets a seat. Eric Williams as a sophomore, 6 points and 3 boards for Jim Boeheim 2 years ago. And 3 points a game as a freshman. He's one of the Brooklyn kids out of that great program at Robeson High School. Then he played some prep ball. He was an All-American at Milford Academy.
Marquette,
Eagles have it.
Yeah, they can hold the ball now for the final shot of the first half.
They're going to call it timeout. It's use it or lose it for Tom Crean. You don't carry all of your timeouts over. Well, the ACC Big Ten Challenge is coming on ESPN. What a slate of matchups. How about Tuesday the 28th? Wake and Michigan from Ann Arbor at 7 o'clock. The Deacons are 16th in the latest poll. Robert O'Kelly, the great veteran there. And then the Fighting Illini, they'll be just back from Maui. And wow, what a return. You get to play Duke at 9 o'clock Eastern. That's in Greensboro. Corey Bradford, Ryan Cook, Duke, of course, Shane Battier, who could be the National Player of the Year.
That could be one of the best games of the season between Illinois and Duke. I think those 2 clubs have got a real shot at making the Final Four this year. That's one you want to watch.
And, of course, for more on college basketball, you can always log on to ESPN.com. Wardle's ankle still a concern over there, the left ankle. Evidently, they're not too worried about swelling, or they wouldn't have taken that shoe off. Final 15 seconds. Kordell Henry runs the point. Pulling his way in, Merritt. Micah Brand blocks him cleanly. Then Merritt got it back. 2 seconds. Baroni off balance, and down it goes. He was already off the floor when he let the shot go. How his first basket, but more importantly than that, the spark he gave this club late in the first half.
His defensive work was outstanding, but that play right there gave them a big lift going to the locker room. Watch the save right here. Miller kicks it to him. He's already up in the air, knows he has to get rid of it. Yeah, look at me.
We were talking earlier about gym rats. There's one for you right there, Brian Baroni. And a crazy first half comes to a close. Bill Pito and Digger Phelps in the studio. And Bill, Marquette opens it up by 10 at the half.
All right, Bob.
And look at the rebounding advantage. The Marquette bench has been dominant tonight. And here we go, second half. UMass with the ball down by 10. What happened to them, Larry?
I don't know. Golden Eagles back in that man-to-man defense. The biggest problem Mass had was that 14-2 offensive rebounding number that Marquette threw up against them.
And Monty Mack only got 5 shots. There's a good start.
That's a great start for Massachusetts, getting Jackie Rogers off the schneid.
He played high school at Corcoran in Syracuse. Then he played at Winchendon. Then he played his freshman year at West Virginia. Then he goes to JUCO, that great program at Barton County, Kansas. And now, of course, with UMass, he has been everywhere. Wardle short. Unable to hold it in. UMass will have it back, so they don't need much of a run to get back into it here, starting the second half. UMass is 1-0. They won their opener over the Gales of Iona, 67-65. In the opener for them, while Marquette was losing their NIT debut, 67-54 here to South Alabama on a night when they had several droughts. Looks like a grab from behind. Eric Williams with the offensive foul.
Yeah, he hooked him down underneath. Take a look at the big guns right here tonight for UMass. Mack with 7 points, Wardle with 10. 2 of 5 shooting. Mack with only 5 field goal attempts in that first half.
Yeah. And he had a 3 very early. He totally uninvolved later. And you got to credit Brian Baroni with some of that. We'll see him, I'm sure, again tonight, the way he played the first half. Here's Wardle. Off for O'Darty, blanks in, and another foul. This one is on Winston Smith.
Smith with a little push in the back that time. And once again, the officials calling it tight again. Both of these clubs are going to have to adjust to these officials.
Now, these games aren't as long as college football games.
Getting close.
Yet. They're checking in at about 3 hours and 45 minutes on some of the college football games, and that's got the networks and the NCAA concerned these days. College basketball has always been a tidy little 2-hour package for us. Some of these games will be a little longer as they call it this closely early in the year.
Good hustle by O'Darty, blanks in that time to come up with that loose ball.
Kordell Henry for Wardle. The 3 rattles up, rattles in. Well, when you're a good shooter, what do they say at the pool hall? The good shooters get the good rolls?
You know what, though? I was watching him on his 2 jump shots. He's not getting that good elevation with his J because of that ankle. Very fortunate to get that one to roll in. 2
minutes in, 32-21 Marquette. On the wing, Money Mack. Back to Smith. They'll reverse it as they look to Crooks. His jumper goes down. Hey, what do we got here? Some people warming up?
Good sign right there. Rogers hits one. Crooks hits one. Massachusetts getting that offense on track.
Here's Henry working off a high pick by Miller, and Kordell drills in his second field goal of the night.
You know, anytime you're guarding a guard that can shoot that well, you do not go behind screens. You go over the top. He went behind the screen, and that allowed Henry to get the shot off.
Mack, catch, shoot, 3.
Oh, are we lighting it up now?
Well, I know they didn't take him outside at halftime. They must have put on some warm-ups because they've come out firing. Here's Wardle. The kick for Henry. 2 in a row. A little long. Rebound, Money Mack. 4 Minutemen on this break, and it's behind Crooks. And a dive in there by Mack. No foul. It's over the baseline. It'll go back the other way.
Tough break that time. Mack was trying to give it up to the left side that time to Crooks, who was making the break down that left lane. Watch it. He's got it. Tries to make the pass, throws it behind him. Then he tries to go and get it, and he undercuts Henry.
We've had bodies flying in Milwaukee tonight. 3 minutes in. Wardle for 3. Boom! Brian Wardle suddenly with 16 in his career, 137 threes.
Maybe he should sprain that other ankle.
He's got the rebound. Now he does. It's out of bounds off Jackie Rogers. on a very alert play. Hey, 70% of Brian Wardle is still pretty good in Division I.
I'll tell you, he's still coming out of the screens with not as much alacrity, not as quick, but he's still getting there.
Alacrity?
Oh, yes.
Now, we've worked together a long time. I've never heard that one. Can you define that for me?
Stay with me.
Okay. Alacrity. I didn't know you majored in vocabulary at Kentucky. There's Marquette with Wardle and Henry. Little two-man game. A little cross-court give and go. Offensive rebound. Stripped away.
Good job by Crooks that time to get that one. A little thievery underneath.
Crooks down to Rogers. Leaning in. Yes. And a foul. Jackie Rogers with 2 field goals in the first 4 minutes.
Mass looking a lot more aggressive this second half than the first half. Whatever it was the Bruiser Flint said to him at halftime got him going. They're a much different team now.
Namaka, his 4th foul, and he has to leave.
Watch underneath. Good strip inside. Boy, Crooks with good hands to come up with that one right there after Marquette got another offensive rebound. Now watch the other end here. Good pass after the post-up position down in there by Jackie Rogers. Like the way this junior looks out of Syracuse, New York.
He was a 1,000-point scorer in high school at Corcoran in the Qs. 37-29. Running down to the 4-minute mark out of halftime. Henry.
And
grab.
Check, yep.
Jonathan DePina with his first.
Excuse me, Bob. I was going to say I am more and more convinced after every game that I see now that these players are going to have to begin to make some adjustments. Not only the players, I think the coaches are going to have to start to look at this and start to handle their practices a little bit different.
Yeah, one of the big quandaries is going to be how do you play aggressive defense and not touch anything? Wardle, the
nice
catch
move
from Henry. Left-hander off the glass and a foul.
How about that one? Wow. I heard you ask a question of Tom Creed today about Brian Wardle and his ability to play at the next level. He says there are a lot of clubs looking at this young man. They think he has the ability to play at 6'5", 205. Nice left-handed move right here, high off the glass, getting it up over Eric Williams.
Brian Wardle admits he just wasn't that into basketball as a younger player. But he has really worked on his shooting. And he didn't start that well. He shot 6 of 19 against South Alabama, but he was 3 out of 8 from three-point range. The great players, the good scorers, they find ways to score when one thing may not be working. That little wince right there tells you the ankle still not feeling that great. But if he makes this, that's 9 points since halftime.
That's almost as many as he had in the first half.
He had 10 total when he hit 1 of his first 6, then 3 of his last 4 shots.
Golden Eagles back in that man-to-man defense. We're going to have a hand-checking foul. Looks like it might be Henry.
4 minutes and 8 seconds out of halftime. We've got some scoring going on here in Milwaukee. Bruisers, Minutemen, though, still down by 11. Brian Wardle has almost 50% of Marquette's points. He admits he just wasn't that into basketball, into shooting when he first started.
I was pretty bad when I was younger, 5th, 6th grade. But then I loved basketball, and I learned it was a sport that I loved, and so I continued to improve and always working on my shot, always working on my shot. And my dad would always tell me to watch, Michael Jordan play, watch the way John Paxson shoots for the Bulls back in the day. And I think just studying those guys and continuing to always work on, elbow in and follow through, that's what I was always taught.
And that replay shows you that John Wardle, to become a good shooter, has to work very hard off the ball. He's now in the top 10 all-time in Conference USA scoring. The league hasn't been around that long, but Larry, it's a quality league, and top 10 has to mean something.
How about the start that Charlotte has started off, huh? Big win over Fordham and another one over NC State at Conference USA.
Bobby Lutz down there. It's a good program. UNC Charlotte picked 3rd behind Cincinnati and DePaul in the American Division of Conference USA. Where's this one going? Officials looking at each other. It'll stay the same way with UMass.
A lot of floor burns and no results. Watch the hustle down underneath there. You're going to see a couple of Marquette players go to the deck. Pretty good effort down there. John Harris on the inside.
Rogers, the turnaround.
Blocked.
Right in his face, John Harris.
He took it away from him. He almost took it out of his hands.
That was more of a catch than a block. You're right. Here's Merritt, who had such a wonderful first half off the bench. Harris turning, off balance, running. Rogers straight ahead. Crooks. He will finish. And a good transition basket. One of the few we've seen tonight by UMass. Shannon Crooks has 11 on the night. 40-31. Baroni's in there, by the way, for Marquette at the timeout. Another whistle away from the ball. Jackie Rogers
yeah,
is
got a
third.
hold on the inside. Watch Rogers right here go up. He never even got the ball out of his hands. Rogers with a nice outlet pass right here to Crooks on the break. Always look up the floor. If you're a guy with the basketball and you got a teammate, check the floor up ahead of you. You may have somebody up there.
Wardle off with it. Monty Mack will run with it. Baroni hurt on that play. Here's Mack bouncing it in. Rogers turning, banking and missing. Reimer over the top, couldn't finish. And Merritt says, I'll take it. Ryan Baroni shaken up at the other end. It looks like he took a shot to the head or something. A little bit dizzy coming down the court. He gestured over to Jim Byrne and Tom Crean. I need time to gather myself here.
He was right in front of the Marquette bench over there. He might have gotten a shot to the, it looked like the eye. Pretty good block on the inside. How about Merritt getting up there with those long arms once again, trying to reject that ball shot by Jackie Rogers. Good battle underneath, too.
Marquette gives it up. Crooks, the turnaround. Down it goes. Shannon Crooks with 13 on a giveaway over on the sidelines by Marquette. Nobody went over to throw the ball in. It really wasn't a timeout. There's Baroni. A whistle. Merritt dueling with Reimer. And it looks like 4 on Kit Reimer. Downtown Milwaukee, the Bradley Center, home of the Bucks and the Golden Eagles of Marquette. Carpenter Conley teaming up for you tonight as
once again
get here further into the month of November. It's tournament time on ESPN. We got the Maui Invitation already started. The NIT Wednesday night. The Great Alaska Shootout starts on Thursday. It's a great week. Always one of the great weeks for college basketball.
I want to know one thing.
This Thanksgiving week.
When you go up there, you're going to do some dog sledding?
Absolutely not. You crazy? Wardle. I'm a city boy, Larry. I don't know about that kind of stuff. Give me a public transit bus and I might go around.
Just
Anchorage
remember the lead dog always has the best view.
I suppose that goes without saying. Here's Merritt. Better get rid of it. Does Wardle.
Saved it?
Nope.
Nope, did not. Good effort that time by Wardle. Just couldn't hang on to it. He tried to get it to Blankson on the sideline and threw it up in the press section.
Jonathan DePina, senior backup guy. Turnovers not as bad as they were early. People hit a few shots. The turnovers don't go up very much. There's DePina looking for Rogers. They were fronting him. Smith on the wing.
It's like a foul underneath, away from the ball again.
Man.
Was that Harris? Yeah, it was Harris underneath.
Fourth. 3 new Eagles coming in, including Namaka, who's playing with
Harris and Blankson really going after each other underneath there. I don't know where this one occurred. There it was right there.
Namaka playing with 4 fouls back for Marquette. Last team standing maybe wins this one. Is that
timeout? You had to take a timeout. Yeah, they couldn't inbound the ball. Well, Bruiser Flint was really upset. Looked like I'm not sure he was after right there. Looked like Winston Smith couldn't get the ball inbounds.
Marquette leading it 40-33. And by the way, as long as we're talking tournaments, how about the Puerto Rico shootout? Friday, semifinal number 2 will determine the teams. You've got Stanford, ODU, Rick Majerus' Utah club. He's a former Marquette coach. Memphis, Georgia, Indiana State, Miami of Ohio, and American are down there. And then the championship is at 3 p.m. later in the weekend on ESPN2 from San Juan. For more on all the tournament brackets, you can go to ESPN.com and you can figure out right away who's playing who in all of these tournaments this week. Be the smartest guy in your street. Marquette. 13:34 second half. Marquette by 7. They get it inside. And the good back, yeah, Jackie Rogers. He is so active.
I tell you what, he did that in heavy traffic too, right underneath the basket.
He has 11. Henry for Wardle.
Matt's really closing out on Wardle now, not allowing him to get the shot off.
Working back around the perimeter. 7 minutes out of halftime. Wardle being watched there by Winston Smith.
He wants the screen. Nice job by Smith to get around it. And
he got a late one. Got a late one down there from John Miller. And Brian Wardle has 21 playing on a bad ankle.
Smith made a nice move around the screen, then got down inside and gave up on him when he hit the baseline.
Maybe expecting a little help, but Wardle was staying right at it. He's really had to work hard to create his shots tonight. To keep him out of foul trouble, they've got Namaka out there guarding a point guard. Better keep your hands off Depina. He does. Entry for Mack, the release, a foul. It appears to be Kordell Henry. That'll be his 4th.
Bob, take a look right here. You'll get an idea. Watch Winston Smith get around the screen. Nice job right there. Tracking. Then he gives up and lets Wardle go all the way to the baseline and pick up his 20th and 21st point.
This game has been a foul fest. Each team was in the bonus in the first half with 11 and a half minutes remaining before halftime. Monty Mack at the line. 11 on the night now for the senior. Brian Baroni back. Monty Mack, 1,628 points. He's closing on Tony Barbee. He needs 15 to tie Tony, who's now an assistant, of course, with John Calipari at Memphis. There's an undercut by Williams as he went down. That'll be his 4th foul. Who is going to finish this game? This may be one of those 3-on-3 tournaments in the last few minutes.
You know, the 10th, 11th, and 12th player are going to become very important here in the final minutes of this game. Watch the battle underneath right here, and you can see the foul committed. Undercut.
Seven team fouls on UMass already. So it happens a minute earlier than it did in the first half. I know it's a point of emphasis, Larry, and I know they're trying to clean some things up. But for a lot of college basketball fans, this can't be a whole lot of fun to watch right now.
Well, but again, I'll get back to this and say it once again that the players and the coaches are going to have to make some adjustments. The officials are going to continue to call the game like this. You've got to make adjustments with your defense.
There's Brand, double team, trying to bull his way through. Good stand-up straight defense by Marquette. They let him play that time. And then we've got Baroni. He was forcing his way in to receive the pass, and he kind of threw a few fists out there.
Well, he kind of pushed off on Winston Smith, who was really causing problems for him. Watch the double team underneath right here. You can see right there Micah Brand coming up with the ball. Wardle underneath won't allow him to get to the basket. Good job by Marquette standing their ground. Now here's where the problem occurs. There's the push off by Baroni right there against Winston Smith.
Brand receives it on the inbounds play. Jonathan Depina, Baroni watches him.
1-4 alignment by UMass. Another set. Zone defense right now by Marquette. They're matching up.
Mack back to Smith. Depina waving for the ball over Wardle, and he knocks down the 3. His first basket of the night. He had 9 in the season opener against Iona on 3 of 7 shooting. Another whistle away from the ball.
Massachusetts creeping back into this game, and it looks like Jackie Rogers is going to pick up another foul.
That's his 4th. 3, 1, 2, 3 players for UMass with 4. And for Marquette, Namaka has 4. Harris with 4. As well as Kordell Henry, the point guard. At the line, Terry Sanders.
Sanders, a nice-looking freshman. I was asking Tom Crean today if he'd recruited Sanders coming out of high school. He said, yeah, but said his grades weren't quite what we needed, so he took off and went to Hargrave Military Academy to kind of get those grades up. He did, and they brought him back.
Became a top 25 power forward there. And there's Ronell Blizzard walking. 8 minutes out of halftime. This is something else. Bruiser Flint all over Jim Burr. The whistles have been blowing. The threes have been flying. That time, DePina, Marquette by 6. Marquette's got some young guys to look forward to. One of them is Dwayne Wade. Natalie attired right there.
Absolutely. He's a young man that was highly recruited out of high school. In fact, scored 89 points in one day in a tournament. 48 in one and 41 in the other.
Lighten it up. They've got another kid, too, a point guard by the name of Travis Diener coming in out of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. #1 player in the state. His dad, Bob, was his head coach there. And he's got cousins, Drake, playing for DePaul, and Drew playing for St. Louis U. So this Diener thing is a Conference USA family affair.
I'll tell you what, once again, Marquette having difficulty inbounding the ball. Massachusetts really denying that inbound pass. Those clubs zone out of bounds. Watch Massachusetts. They're all over it man-to-man.
Entry
Nice
for Miller.
pass.
And a foul.
That's what you call making an adjustment.
That's the risk you run by going man. If one guy gets beaten, it's a layup.
Well, Miller set a good screen that time, and they forgot about him because he was rolling to the basket. See the roll right there? Micah Brand with the foul.
Miller with his first point of the night. Well short on that one. UMass rebound pulled down by Winston Smith. 11:40 remaining. Marquette by 7. Another one.
I think it's Blankson holding down underneath. Looked like Winston Smith was trying to cut that baseline. Now Massachusetts is into the 1-and-1. No, not yet. I thought that was the 7th. I heard the scorekeeper say 7 fouls.
Unofficially, 36 fouls called in this game with 11.5 minutes remaining. DePina's got 2 in a row. He stepped inside the arc and drilled it, and that's 5 for the senior backup point guard.
Well, I tell you, what a nice thing for Bruiser Flint to have a guy like DePina who can step in there and play that point guard position.
Well, he did for 40 minutes in the Iona game. That's 7 assists but 6 turnovers, but he did some scoring. Here's Wardle for Baroni. And Baroni looks up to check the shot clock at the other end. It's down to 10. They come out to trap him now. He ducks through. Sanders, who was looking for somebody to make a backdoor cut. Shot clock at 3. Baroni has it rim out on him. And UMass with a good 35-second stop.
Yeah, that was a good job that time. Massachusetts doing a good job defensively of holding them back.
40 seconds away from the midway point, second half. Flashing. Connie Mack. Normally he'll shoot off that catch, and evidently Ronell Blizzard was not looking for the pass.
Let's go back and take a look at the defense that Massachusetts is putting on Marquette right now. Brian Wardle trying to shake free. Can't do it. Doing a good job is Winston Smith, shadowing him everywhere he goes. Now watch this. Good overplay. Keeps him away from the basket. Ball comes down on the other side. Massachusetts with a nice job defensively.
Now Baroni waves everybody down court, including Miller, who was going to set a high post pick for him. Waiting for Wardle to release. Miller gets there as well. Wardle trying to work off that pick and roll. Long with the 3. Rebound to Pina. Straight ahead. Crooks. Wardle. Clean reach? No. Jim Burr, the trail official, close to the players, didn't call it. Art McDonald on the other side of the court did.
Actually, I thought Artie had a better look at that than Jim Burr did from behind. DePina with the basketball, kind of breaking out of the pack right there. Pushes the ball forward, and oh, he got a lot of ball that time.
They decided to show the replay on the video board here, which really shouldn't be done. Crooks at the line.
And Crooks can't make the first one.
Yeah, there's the replay that was on the scoreboard. They just showed it again.
Wanted to make sure if you missed it the first time, you saw it the second time.
Evidently. 4-point game. We've got 10 minutes to go. Maroney runs the point for Marquette. Harris on the perimeter. Lizard staying with him. Wardle comes fighting out. Travels. I'll tell you what, nobody's making any adjustments at all. They're still playing tough, tight, reach-in defense all over this floor.
The last 3 possessions by Marquette on offense, I have seen Massachusetts really turn up their defensive pressure. That's a good call. He backed off balance, lost his footing. Ball goes back to UMass.
Jumper right side. It won't quite roll in for Shannon Crooks. Micah Brand should have just given up on that thing. He was boxed out, and he kept trying to get over the top to keep that thing alive. Watch number 40 on the right side of your screen.
Nice job by Miller to get back to that inside position, and then he just pushes him or shoves him trying to get to the ball. You know, that's good work right there, though. Miller works all the way from the outside on the baseline to get down underneath and make sure he gets that position. And usually the officials will give the benefit of the doubt to the guy who has the position on the inside.
Miller at the line.
Kind of snuck that one in, didn't he?
John Miller, 6'10", 240 senior, has been around here for a while. Out of Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Went to Marquette High School here in Milwaukee.
Actually was a former walk-on. Had a scholarship after he played a couple of years. Started 28 of the 29 games last year for the Golden Eagles.
Marquette back on top by 6. He averaged 5 rebounds a game in that time. Monty Mack being watched by Henry. Lapina on the wing. Wardle tries to stay with him. Monty Mack way out there with a long 3 and a long rebound. Lizard almost had the tap after the miss by Micah Brand.
Pretty good offensive rebounding, though, by that time.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that a whole lot tonight, have we? It's mainly been Marquette crashing the offensive glass. Henry keeps it alive. Miller waiting for Wardle. Another high pick by Harris.
Well, that was a terrific job defensively again by Shannon Crooks.
The handoff to Henry. The kick for Miller. Monty Mack got him from behind.
How about that play by Mack?
Monty's got some quick hands, doesn't he?
Well, Mack's only 6'3", going up against Miller, who is 6'10". Nice move by Henry right here to give the ball up. Miller makes a nice move, puts the ball on the floor to get by him, and then it's out of his hands. Slapped away by Monty Mack.
Monty knew if he didn't block it early, he had no shot, and he got it early. 5-second call.
Well, once again, Marquette struggling to get the ball inbounds.
That's 3 times tonight. A 5-second call at each end, and then after Brian Baroni got shook up in this half, nobody ran over for a half-court inbounds play.
You know, if the guy's struggling getting the ball in, you got to break to the ball, get there to get it, to help him.
Crooks for UMass, beating Blankson, banking,
nice.
Scoring, drawing a foul.
Nice. Outstanding play. Down deep inside, draw the foul, concentration. Bruiser Flint says, yeah, I like it. And well, he should. Watch this move. A little shake and bake right there. Good jump stop, down inside, drew the foul, got it up and in. Nice move by Shannon Crooks.
Alumanamika running back into your screen right about now. He will replace O'Darty Blankson, who just got his 3rd foul. And at the line, looking for 17 on the night, Shannon Crooks.
Just go down low.
And on 7 of 15 shooting. A couple of assists, 6 steals he had in that time. 55. Running down under the 8-minute mark here. Kordell Henry sees an opening and blocked. Wardle, he's rejected. 2 blocks by Micah Brand on the same play, and then Wardle travels with Micah adjusting that shot. How about that? 2 blocks, adjusting a shot, and causing a turnover in a span of about 10 seconds. Tom Crean, second year at Marquette, trying to bring a young team along with a great senior, and Bruiser Flint looking to get the Minutemen deep into March.
Bill Pino back in the studio, updating Wake Forest and Richmond. Richmond was awfully close in the first half, but here in the second half, it's Craig Dawson to Antoine Scott. And Wake Forest now up comfortably 46-35.
Here in Milwaukee, Bob Carpenter, Larry Conley. Gentlemen on your left, there he is, Mr. Hank Raymonds, 126 wins in 6 years here. Third on the all-time list behind Al McGuire and Bill Chandler. What an outstanding gentleman he has been and a great champion of Marquette basketball.
The words you said there really applies to him. A gentleman. He is a terrific guy. Nice to visit with him every time we come to Milwaukee.
7:50 to go. 3-point game. Crooks on the perimeter.
Marquette back into that box and chaser again. Baroni chasing Mack. The other four guys are playing zone.
Smith got it back from Monty Mack. Crooks has had a very good game tonight. Their point guard. There's Monty with penetration. Baroni went down. Tough to get a shot. Shot clock at 10. A banker. And the rebound for Marquette's Aluma Namaka.
Not a good shot by Crooks that time. He really was off balance and really had nowhere to go with it. Marquette needs something to do offensively right now. Massachusetts has shut them down the last 3 possessions.
Here's Baroni baseline, hooking it down there for John Harris. The switch to Wardle. Way long, offensive rebound. John Harris. They have really crashed the glass at the offensive end tonight.
John Harris, a lot of credit.
That's a big basket. They don't score there. Mass could tie it or be maybe one back.
Still that box and chaser. Watch Baroni cut right through the middle of that zone. All over Mack. Mack's trying to shake him.
Mack gets a pick. Throws up a little leaner. Rogers looking to keep it alive. Ball on the floor. It'll be a possession call, and it will go to Marquette. Wardle getting tied up there with Jackie Rogers.
Possession, alternate possession will go to Marquette.
Jonathan DePina, steady point guard, checking back in for Bruiser Flint. 6:35 remaining. There's DePina, who's had a 3 and a deuce here in the second half.
He's also been awfully good defensively. He really has put a lot of pressure on Baroni, as he's doing right now.
Wardle from Baroni, looking for a pick.
Well, Crooks has really done a good job, too, down inside on Brian Wardle.
Chasing him everywhere. Wardle, Crooks right in front of him. Shot clock at 9. 5-second call.
He didn't move. Crooks did a nice job. Wardle was waiting for that screen. He waited too long. Watch it again. Wardle comes out. Now he's in position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too late.
Yeah. You learned that from your dad, didn't you? He blew the whistle a few times in Eastern Kentucky.
He did indeed. Taught me how to count.
Monty Mack. Oh, Baroni stopped him cold.
I'm telling you, Baroni's done a nice job on both ends of the court.
Namaka tipped away from behind. Jonathan DePina. Marquette will keep it for the first time tonight. We'll see Greg Clausen, their 6'11 senior out of Dixon, Illinois, who doesn't play a whole lot, but he's a great student, and he's been a credit to this program for 4 years. There he is on the perimeter. There's Baroni.
Probably just give Miller a little bit of a break.
Yep. Namaka won't go for it. Rebound in there by Reimer. Kitt's got it for UMass. Getting down to the 5.5-minute mark remaining. Rogers, turnaround, sweet on the touch.
How about that? Clausen comes in and immediately Bruiser Flint goes down inside against him.
Right,
nice play.
Rogers had to be so strong to get the shot and then so soft with the touch. A whistle away from the ball.
I think Reimer picked that up.
That'll be his 5th. He is gone. I'm having a hard time believing we made it to the 5:09 mark before somebody fouled out. As many fouls as we've had early in this game tonight. The ACC Big Ten Challenge. How about Tuesday? Wake Forest and Michigan, 7 o'clock to get things started. It's presented by 989 Sports. And then a couple of ranked teams. How about this matchup? Number 8 Illinois at number 1 Duke at 9 Eastern. You can log on to ESPN.com for more on college basketball and the ACC Big Ten Challenge. I know North Carolina will play Michigan State in that series as well. That's the Tuesday night action a week from tomorrow.
Let's go back and watch the 5th foul committed by Kit Reimer down inside. You'll see the cut across the middle by Brian Wardle. A little bit of an elbow thrown here. I'm not sure it was too much. Actually thought Crooks, there it is right there. He kind of threw it at him as he went by. It's what they're trying to do is cut out that rough play as those guys make the cuts across the lane.
Brian Wardle with the free throw, his 22nd point of the night.
This is a typical Wardle night, though. This is the way he usually plays. This is the way he played last year.
Well, he was the Conference USA 6th Man of the Year as a freshman 3 years ago. That's a pretty good award for a first-year player. And then he's pretty much been an all-conference guy ever since. 52-47, Marquette as we go down to 5 minutes remaining. DePina squares up. He's got another three.
What a second half DePina has had.
All 8 of his points. That shaves one off the lead, and it's 52-50 as they exchanged a 2 for a 3.
DePina doing a good job.
Foul. Monty Mack with a reach in.
How many fouls is that? I know you keep track of all this. Can you total that up real quick?
Well, I had 36 about 5 or 6 ago.
Watch again. So nice move by DePina right there to nail that one from the outside.
Yeah, we're right at the 40 foul mark, somewhere close.
UMass doing a much better job from long range than is Marquette.
44 fouls. 23 on UMass. Namaka with his 7th point of the night.
Do you have any ink left in your pen?
Not the red one.
I'll tell you what, Marquette continues to hang on, though, just barely. UMass trying to make a run at it right here. DePina with a great second half.
4:35 to go. Marquette refusing to give up the lead, though. Looks for Monty Mack. The quick catch, the quick shot, long rebound, and UMass has it.
DePina right there. Ever opportunistic. Rogers trying to establish post position down inside. Harris trying to keep him out of there.
Under 4 minutes to go. Monty Mack turning.
Nice great pass. What a great pass.
Jackie Rogers with 15. He's at 11 of those since halftime. And the penetration of the UMass guards has made a lot of that happen.
Don't think that Monty Mack is just a one-dimensional player, just a shooter. He does a little bit of everything. Good defender, good passer.
Well, he was a point guard that time, wasn't he?
Sure was. Very nice.
Marquette has led since it was 13-12 with 6:20 to go before halftime. Wardle, that wily veteran, drawing the contact as he gets Shannon Crooks off the floor.
Well, I'll tell you what, for a guard, he's got a pretty good post-up move. He had his back to the basket, knew he had a little heat on the backside. Watch this. Good pass to the inside. Now watch Wardle come across the lane. He's got Crooks. He knows he's going to have him on his hip. Now, where are you? Where are you? All right, I'm going to turn, drop step, go down in, pump fake, get you up in the air, and go baseline. Very nice. Bob, one of the things I like about Brian Wardle is he's just not an outside shooter. This guy has a full game. I mean, he can go down inside. He posts up well, comes off of screens well, puts it on the floor and gets his own shot. Had a pretty well-rounded game.
24 for Brian Wardle tonight. 3:32 remaining. It's Marquette still hanging on. UMass still hanging around.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Adidas.
Atlantic 10, UMass, Conference USA, Marquette on a cold, cold November evening here in Milwaukee. And at the Bradley Center, a 3-point game with 3:32 remaining. Building that holds better than 19,000. Most of the lower bowl is full. Marquette will draw a lot better when Conference USA play starts. You got DePaul coming up here, that great Milwaukee-Chicago rivalry. They always pack this place for Cincinnati. Larry and I will be here in late February for that war.
Might even be a little colder then. Right now, Monty Mack only 1 of 7 in the second half. In fact, he's missed his last 6, making his last 7.
3:15 to go. Kordell Henry.
Mack really struggling with his shooting tonight. 2 of 5 in the first half, 1 of 8 in the second.
Henry probing, looking for Wardle. Steps by Crooks. Got him off the floor again. 2 times in a row.
I'll tell you what, I think Wardle's found a home down there on that baseline right there, and Crooks is right with him. Watch Wardle make this maneuver right here. He's got Crooks fighting through screens. Once he gets to the baseline, pump fake, gets once again Crooks up in the air, comes right across his arm, and it'll send Wardle to the line again.
Ryan Wardle now 25, giving him 42 points in 2 games this year. Monty Mack and Wardle, it's a mismatch right now. That gives him 26. We'll update that number. Final 3 minutes. Marquette by 5. DePina shovels. Rogers the flush. Foul before the shot or the pass.
Boy, they're going to get a break right here. Marquette is. They're going to get the push down underneath. Rogers had an easy dunk in there after DePina gave it up.
John Miller on the foul. His second.
That's one time where Marquette really is fortunate to go ahead and commit the foul. Is that 5 fouls on Miller?
I only have him for 2.
I think they may have the score might have gotten the wrong number.
35 Miller. Maybe they thought it was 34 Harris, which would have fouled him out. It was Miller.
And Mass is still in the 1-and-1. They're not into the double bonus yet.
And DePina with 9 on the night. Coming up next on ESPN2, the only guys in Atlanta who drive faster than Larry Conley. The Winston Cup Napa 500 coming up next.
I'll tell you what, it's the law of survival down there. You got to drive fast.
I've seen you on I-75. 10 for DePina, all in the second half. 57-54. Henry with a bouncer and a kick.
Reset the clock. Full 35 seconds now for UMass.
Yeah, for them to play defense. Namaka will throw it in down on the baseline. They'll bunch everybody up at the top of the circle. Now step Wardle out. He'll pull his way in there. Smith got it.
Smith got a little piece of it.
Straight ahead. Jackie Rogers cuts across the lane, draws a foul. And if that's on Kordell Henry, he will be gone. It's not going to be him, though. It'll be another one on John Miller. If you're a college basketball fan, you can catch over 450 games on ESPN Full Court. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network. All the top teams, all the big conferences from now until tournament time.
I'll tell you what, the way this season is starting out, we've already had some major upsets. How about Dayton beating Connecticut 80-66 today? Big win. Oliver Purnell.
Good win for the Atlantic 10. Wow, Rogers way off. And there's Brand over the back. He's been doing that all night. That'll be 4 on him. We'll walk to the other end.
Once again, watch number 40, Micah Brand right there. Good screen out by Miller. Went right up over his back to try to get the ball. You know, it was almost automatic. Did you see him turn around and turn his palms to the sky?
He knew it.
He knew it. That wasn't very good.
Eric Williams back for UMass.
Got to get a little closer than that.
Shannon Crooks will join him. Miller gets it down. 4 for John Miller.
How does a guy miss the entire thing and then not even draw iron on the second one? It goes right to the bottom of the net.
2:30 to go, 4-point game. Monty Mack penetrating. Bounce pass in there. That possession will stay with UMass.
I thought that was a pretty quick whistle right there. I thought the way they were going down there kind of looked like Namaka and I'm not sure, was it Rogers? No, it was Crooks. Down in the baseline right there. I don't think either one of them had a hold of it. Yeah, Crooks had it.
Great entry pass. Crooks from DePino. Wow, how did that ball find its way through there?
I think Marquette just lost him defensively down on that baseline. Somebody forgot their man.
Shannon Crooks with 19, 12 of those in the second half. Running down to the 2-minute mark. We're going to have 50 fouls in this game. Monty Mack with his third.
I tell you, we may have more points scored from the free throw line tonight than we will have in field goals made.
Well, we'll have to put those numbers and crunch them and see how it comes out. Namaka with 9 on the night. 7 of those from the line. Marquette for a 4-point lead here. Nice touch.
So important to be able to make those free throws, particularly if the game's going to be called like this all year.
Tom Crean exhorting the crowd. They want a defensive stop here in the final 2 minutes. Mack driving. Henry got him. No, he turned it over. He palmed the ball.
Monty Mack visibly upset with that call.
Crooks leaves. Winston Smith back in.
You know what? That was a good call. You see that little hesitation? He kind of put his hand underneath the ball, carried it, and kept on going. Excellent call by the official.
Running down to 1:45 remaining. Wardle working off a pick by Miller. Driving. Stopped. Henry. Shot clock at 12. Final 90 seconds. He got his own shot. A follow. And Namaka, who went in there crashing, had a chance to really score a big basket. Now with 1:15. 4-point game.
DePina trying to shake Namaka outside.
Namaka's got to be careful playing with 4. Mack drills it for 3.
Oh, big basket. Big bucket.
UMass timeout with 1:03 remaining.
The guy that I thought had to step up big for Massachusetts was going to be Monty Mack. And of course, once he gets the basketball, he simply makes one good move, gets Henry going one way, he comes back the other and drains it. Watch how quickly he gets rid of this ball. One dribble, the crossover right in front, good balance, good square up, bottom of the net. Complaining about a foul, too.
Arizona's won. Dayton's beat UConn. And the Maui Invitational continues tonight with Louisville and Maryland at 9 o'clock on ESPN. The Running Rebels of UNLV and 8th-ranked Illinois at 11:30. That's over on ESPN2 from Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
You say that like you've been there before.
A few times. They have started that game, by the way, early. Maryland on top, 8-4. That's over on ESPN. We've got 1:03 to go here in Milwaukee.
And we've got a 1-point game. Jim Burr, the official, carrying the ball down to the baseline, getting ready to toss it in as Marquette. Massachusetts definitely will get the ball back again. DePina with some token pressure on Henry.
Henry probing around the perimeter. Namaka on a good look. It's in there. What a good pass by Brian Wardle.
Boy, he looked just in time down inside. Paloma Namaka right there to grab it. Watch Namaka make the cut across the lane. One quick bounce. Strong move to the inside. Draws the foul inside from Eric Williams. Well, Wardle with a nice look. You know what the key to that was? When a guy makes a cut and gets open, get him the ball as soon as he gets open. Then go over and hit him in the chest.
Timeout with 50.1 to go. Now UMass with only one timeout, 130 left. Possession arrow belongs to the home team, now enjoying a 3-point lead with a very important Namaka free throw coming up to make it a 2-possession game.
Game was much better in the second half, Bob. Both clubs really stepped it up. The offenses were clicking a little bit better, and certainly the defense turned it up a notch or two.
Big one by Namaka. 13 for him. Final 45 seconds. 63-59 Marquette.
Watch Mack. Watch Mack.
Henry fouls him, and that fouls him out.
Big choice now. Baroni's going to have to come in and take his place. I'll tell you what, right now, the way Brian has played tonight, I don't think that's a big drop-off. Watch again, Monty Mack in the corner. You'll see right here, Kordell Henry trying to keep him away from that baseline. Reach in and just grabbed him across the arm. .6 seconds remaining. So what do you do now? Obviously, with the free throws for Massachusetts, if Mack drains both of these, it gets them to within 2. I'm sure they're going to come out and just put a little pressure because Marquette could hold on to this basketball. Who would they foul? Who would they go after? Baroni?
Winston Cup Racing next from Atlanta, the Napa 500. We wrap this one up from Milwaukee. Monty Mack at the line. He's at a 14-point night, his first game of the year after being held out against Iona because of that shoplifting charge. 15 for Monty.
Now Massachusetts has a chance. They're going to have to press and foul immediately. Here's the pressure.
Looking for the steal.
Nice job.
Namaka beats the pressure. Final 30 seconds. Baroni. There's a reach around by DePina.
That's the guy they want. I don't think he's been to the line tonight, has he?
Ryan Baroni, one field goal tonight. He was hanging in the air, got a loose ball, and drained it as we went to halftime. But he's done so many other good things for Marquette tonight.
Two big ones right here. Now that puts Mass within one shot of tying this game.
Well, now it's a one possession no matter what he does here. UMass with a timeout. 26.4 seconds remaining.
I kind of figured that Bruiser might tell his club if Baroni gets the basketball to foul him because he had not been to the line. Always important to find a guy who has not been there and who's just come off the bench. He replaced Kordell Henry, who fouled out of this game.
Well, more great tournament action. Preston Schumpert and Jim Boeheim's Orangemen of Syracuse will take on a Conference USA team. The Blue Demons of Pat Kennedy and DePaul a minute or so before midnight on Thursday. Jimmy Dykes and I will be up in Anchorage for that one. That tournament also features Ohio State, Florida State, Rhode Island, Missouri. Valparaiso is out there, along with the Alaska Anchorage Club, the Division II team that hosts that tournament. We'll have a game for you Thursday, Friday, and the championship Saturday night from Sullivan Arena in Anchorage.
That's a nice opening game you guys have got with Syracuse and DePaul. Two pretty good clubs. Syracuse
really rebuilding after Etan Thomas and Jason Hart departed. 4 wins away from 1,000 for UMass. And one of the best in college basketball and the best in the Atlantic 10 over the last decade because of those great John Calipari days. Baroni's got to make this to give them a 3-point lead with 26.4 seconds to go. That's a big one.
Mass has got to go for a 3. Now you play your defense. Get out beyond that 3-point stripe. That's an illegal screen. I think Blizzard's going to pick it up. I think it was an illegal screen.
Ronell Blizzard moving on the pick, his second of the night. And now with 18.4 seconds to go, Marquette could almost ice it with free throws.
Watch it again now. You'll see right here, Crooks has got the ball. He looks into the corner. The foul was by Blizzard as Baroni was making the cut across. Here's Bruiser's reaction. He's going, what? Well, I'll tell you, he works that sideline.
Monty Mack trying to keep his coach from getting a tee. Brian Baroni back to the line. Four for him. That is huge because now it's a 2-possession game.
I tell you what, you're going to look in the box score tomorrow and see Brian Baroni's numbers in there. You're going to think, well, he played pretty well. He played a terrific game tonight. Defensively, he was all over the floor, really hawking these UMass guards.
Final 15 seconds. Crooks looking for Mack. Ball deflected. I think Baroni,
he was out of bounds.
May have been on the end line when he had possession for just an instant. Nine seconds to go. Gotta have it now. DePina for 3. Down it goes. Timeout, UMass.
Well, with 5.1 seconds left, they've got to foul immediately unless they can deny the ball again and get it like they've done 3 times tonight, not allowing Marquette to throw the ball in. Pretty good job by Monty Mack looking out there to Crooks. Crooks sees DePina. Baroni leaves him. DePina, who has had a terrific second half. In fact, he's really been the star in the last 20 minutes of this game. Wants the timeout immediately. Good call.
Jonathan DePina, second half. There he is, middle of your screen. 4 for 4 from the field. Perfect in free throws. And UMass really warming up its 3-point shooting in their opener. They were a respectable 3 for 9 against Iona. While Marquette was only 4 out of 14 and losing to South Alabama, they've got a chance to even their record right here if they have a good possession and take care of these last 5.1 seconds. Baroni.
Express lunch for $2.99. From the fabulous Bradley Center in downtown Milwaukee, it's college basketball action, Conference USA style. The St. Louis Billikens take on the Marquette Golden Eagles. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Pat Hughes, along with Marquette Hall of Famer George Thompson. George, it's going to be rocking here tonight. There's going to be a big crowd on hand for Marquette's conference